Maybe it's my warrior spirit.
This one
Native American Apache and feisty.
kind of hits home for me because I come from a military family. My father was a Vietnam veteran.
Man proves he's meant by being tested in combat.
He also worked later as a civilian for the DoD in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I learned quickly that war wasn't about being.
So a lot of this stuff that this gentleman is saying,
squad leader.
well, I went through it as a son because I'm a son. I didn't serve in the military myself, and I don't hold that honor.
It was January 21, the first day of the attack.
But what he says here in this video is something that
11 weeks.
just reminded me of my father.
We were assigned mop-up work on one of the hills when I saw a squad of NVAs.
The other thing it kind of reminded me of is, with all the stuff that's going on in the United States with DEI initiatives being casted out. People like Elon Musk talking about how this country was not founded on diversity, or diversity is not what makes this country great. Yes, I actually heard him say that in a video, and I tend to agree with Elon Musk on a lot of issues, but this is one I would strongly disagree on. This country was founded on greatness because of its diversity, and that's how it's progressed.
You could fix this.
And the U.S. military is no different. If you ever come from a U.S. military family, you would know how diverse the U.S. military communities are. I grew up in a little town growing up in a place called Junction City, Kansas. It's not too far from an area called Fort Riley, right in the middle of Manhattan, Kansas, where I also went to college in Kansas State later on. But that's another story. But in this historic town of Junction City, we used to call it Junkie City back then. It's a military town, and it's diverse. It's highly diverse. There was a point in time, I think, even when there were Japanese concentration camps, or not concentration camps itself, but Japanese who weren't in those Japanese concentration camps who lived there for a little bit, for some time. But it's a very diverse and very tight-knit community. Military families tend to be very tight-knit because of what they went through. And I grew up with all the stories of my father, my uncle, just hearing them talk about the war.
Career, wife, kid.
And when they were stationed in Korea, Japan, and he was in special operations, Green Beret. So I traveled around quite a bit with him when I was younger, and when my parents were together and were divorced. That's what military families are like. We travel around a lot with our.
Maybe I really wanted to get killed.
With our parents.
Be back with my buddies.
But a lot of the stuff that's
30 years I lived with that. Nothing wrong
by these racists. And I did mention Elon Musk. I think he is a little racist. I think we all are, though, And I don't think he's like Nazi blown racist, but he has a right to his opinion on things. But when he talks about things like this country isn't great because of its diversity, he's dead wrong. And the U.S. military is a sign of that. And I'm going to share some stats with you on the racial breakdown of the U.S. troops by service branch in 2023. 66% of the Army is black. 22.1% is black or African American. 66.6% are white. 21.2% are black or African American. Very small percentage is Asian. 10.6% are multiracial or unknown. Another small percent is American Indian. Navy, 62.6%. 18.4% is black. 6.4% is Asian. 9.7% is multiracial or unknown. Pretty much the trend continues all the way down. Out of the entire whole U.S. population, 60.5% of the U.S. population of the U.S. military is white. 12.1% is black, 6% is Asian, 20.2% are multiracial or unknown, and again, a small percentage American Indian or Alaskan or Native.
help those who'd gone through what I've gone through. So in 2001, I co-founded.
That's that's out of
First, it was for the Vietnam vets.
a large number of
Then it
U.S.
was also for
U.S.
Afghanistan
personnel.
and Iraq vets.
I
A lot of
don't.
them had been self-medicating.
What is it? Here, there it is, right here. It's about 2.86 million
Some even serving
troops,
jail time.
civilians combined, and that's quite a bit, I would say. And I don't know how strong the U.S. military would be without it, and the contributions
Sure, we advocate for their VA
that they've made
help them get jobs.
are often neglected. They're not minor. They've been through a lot,
Stuff that bothers them. We've been there.
killing and things like that. Hopefully, that never becomes a norm. If it is, you might be a serial killer. I don't know, but
Gift when
they
you start to
sacrifice
care,
themselves.
Especially about
So I know we've got a lot going on in this country
seeing
about
their buddies killed.
Hispanics and
You must talk.
immigration and
confront it.
and a lot of racists talking about how people need to get out of this country. Well,
Vets should have to endure
you know,
decades of nightmares.
maybe folks have earned the right to criticize this country without having to be told that they need to get out.
Helping cure
Maybe they just want to make it better better than what it is
to
today,
be part of the
because
solution.
their forefathers have worked for it.
That's what gives me the healing power of peace.
Usually my content is less than a minute long. I'm going to let this keep going because I don't want to. Out of respect for the veterans and the service that this gentleman has done for the country, I don't want to cut it short. And I don't know how many of you have continued to listen to this for so long, but
Thank you.
I'm just not going to cut it. So I'm going to shut up
Maybe
and just say this. The United States is better because of its diversity. That's it.